Welcome everyone to Make Your Day Richer, the game show. Today's game is the 5-second fracture. Let's meet our contestant. Contestant one and only. What's your name and where are you from?
Rodney Phillips from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
And what do you do, sir?
Well, I work in oncology in pharmaceuticals, and I am the new author of Dissension, A Disagreement That Leads to Discord, which was released by the publisher in September.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell everybody before we begin about that book and where they can get it.
Yeah, so it is set in Pittsburgh and Miami, and it is about a young lady, Kylie, that is going to the University of Miami studying criminal law. And she gets caught between a war that breaks out between two rival drug cartels. One is Mexican and one is Cuban. And they send a hitman after her. And then you find out like why she's specifically being targeted, which I won't give away for you. And the ironic thing about this book is I started writing it at 19. It sat in notebooks for 37 years in my file cabinet. Both my kids went to college. I'm not coaching football or lacrosse anymore, and was driving my wife crazy on the weekends, and ended up pulling it out and finishing it. And so it's
here we are.
Be one author lets a book sit there for 37 years.
Well, I've known some authors that have been on this show that it takes them 25 years to write a book, and they were working on it the entire time. So You're not that far behind. Where can everybody get the book?
So you could get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Google Play, Apple Books, pretty much anywhere that you could get books. And then my website is rodneyphillipsauthor.com, and you could go on there. There's a cool trailer that the publisher created about the book. And then also you could click some of the links that they have on there to go, purchase the book as well.
Dissension, A Disagreement That Leads to Discord by Rodney Phillips. The night air hung heavy over Miami, thick with heat and thicker with secrets. Neon lights bled across Ocean Drive, their flicker painting ghosts on rain-slicked streets. The storm may have passed, but in the city's underbelly, another was just beginning. The game had been in motion for years, long before the players even knew they were pieces. Borders shifted, alliances fractured, and in the quiet corners where no one dared to look, blood was spilled. The rules were unwritten, but they were absolute. Power demands obedience. Betrayal demands retribution. And the past, no matter how buried, always claws its way back. In the dim glow of a downtown penthouse, a phone rings. A voice answers. Across town, another call. A woman awakened to truths best left in shadow. Between them, trust is a weapon. Loyalty, a death sentence. And one decision will ignite a reckoning that can never be undone. Before the sun rose over Miami's restless skyline, the first shot would be fired. What began as a feud has become a war. Get your copy of Dissension by Rodney Phillips at your favorite online bookstore and enjoy this non-stop, adrenaline-fueled adventure that grips you from the first page and doesn't let go.
Awesome. Are you ready to play the 5-second fracture?
I am ready to play. A little nervous, but ready to play.
Don't be nervous. There's no pressure. Very easy. And if you win, our entire non-existent studio audience gets a copy of the book. So
that's awesome. Look at this.
There you go.
All right, this is how my wife to help me read 0.00.
Yes. This is how you play the game. You have 5 seconds to name 3 things in a category that I'm going to give you, okay?
Okay.
And they're all hopefully pretty easy that you can, whatever comes to your mind first, as long as they make sense, you get the point for it. When you get to 9 correct answers, you win.
Awesome.
All right?
Yes.
Number 1. Let me get the timer set. Name 3 things you'd find in a dusty filing cabinet.
Note cards, notebooks, and legal pads.
You're perfect. There you go. 1 down. 1 down, 8 to go. Number 2, Name 3 secrets a loyal friend would never tell.
Oh boy. Um, Loyal friend.
Oh, 5 seconds is up.
Oh man, I didn't.
All right. It's amazing how quickly it goes. It's okay. You've many
Yeah,
more chances.
yeah.
Okay. Now you know what it's like to not get one in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So now you know what to do.
Yes.
Number 3. Name 3 reasons to have a disagreement with your neighbor.
Territorial boundaries, money, and parking space.
Perfect. Absolutely. Final question in round number 1. Name 3 things you'd buy at a Pittsburgh gas station.
Donuts, a permani sandwich, and gas.
Yes, very good. That is round number 1. We're ending that with 3 points.
You can't really buy a permani sandwich at a gas station, but I figured I'd throw that in there for Pittsburgh.
Yes. Listen, as long as there is an answer, I'll accept it. All right. Between rounds, I have a couple questions for you. You were saying that you started the book Dissension at 19. You pulled it out again a few years later. What was the most 19-year-old phrase you found in that filing cabinet that made you laugh when you read it?
I would say probably the fact that I originally had the book set in Vegas and Pittsburgh, and because in the 80s, Vegas was considered Sin City. So that was probably the most big time change that I had to make to the book was change the location to Miami.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I would say that most people buy like a sports car for a midlife crisis. You went into a filing cabinet. What was the exact moment you decided that document was more exciting than a vacation?
Once I started reading what I had wrote at 19, so I actually took every note that I had, whether it was on the back of these note cards from a furniture store or legal pads or notebooks. I put in word for word what I had written to start with, and then I obviously went and changed it and infused my life lessons that I've learned over the 37 years back into the characters and back into the book. And but I would say that was probably the thing that jumped out at me at the most is I used every word that I had in there.
That's awesome. How did your 37 years in HR leadership change the villains in your book? And are they scarier because they act like real bosses?
So I'm not in HR leadership. That is my MBA.
Okay.
My MBA is human resource leadership management. I'm actually in pharmaceutical sales. Yeah. And they did the leadership that I've developed over the years, because I've coached for over 20 years and youth sports as well too. Were infused back into the bosses, into my main character, Kylie, and also into my FBI agent, Teresa, as well.
Love that. Love that. Are you ready for round 2?
I am ready.
Okay, we're starting round 2 with 3 points, which means you need 6 more to win.
Okay.
Number 1, you still have 5 seconds to name 3 things. Name 3 ways a hero can turn into a villain.
Ooh, 3 ways a hero: by lying, deceitfulness, and challenging their morale.
We'll take that. It was a little over 5 seconds. That's okay. We got it. It was very good. Number 2, name 3 words that describe fracture in trust.
Disagreement, dissension, lying.
Oh, there you go. You need 2 seconds for that. Perfect. We're at 5 points. Number 3, name 3 signs that a conversation is turning into chaos.
I would say when it's uncovering untruths, when you're uncovering the lies, then it starts to turn into a little bit of chaos because,
I'll accept. I think that was one answer, but I'll accept that because that was a good one. That was a good one. We're at 6 points. Our final question in round number 2. Name 3 sports teams you'd never root for in Pittsburgh.
Patriots, and I'll throw in the Patriots.
Yeah, and how about the Patriots?
Anything Boston, Philly, Dallas would probably be the 3.
That's funny. All right, that's the end of round 2. We've got 7 points. So you only need 2 more in the last
more. Okay, I'm close.
Yes. You've spent your entire life in Pittsburgh, correct?
Correct. Greatest city known to man.
If you had to hide a literary body in Pittsburgh, where is the best hiding spot?
In the rivers.
In the rivers. Okay. He answered that very quickly, but we won't
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah. Well, you got 3 rivers, so you should be able to find one, right?
True. You've coached, like you were saying, for many years. Does your coach voice ever come out when you're writing an intense scene in the book?
It does. It does. Yeah. Quite a bit, actually. And I actually try and put myself into the character's shoes, like how they would react, and, obviously each character reacts different, in those situations.
Yeah. What was the most surprising thing any of your neighbors or your friends said when they found out that you had this book and that it was all of a sudden part of your legacy?
Yeah, well, one of the girls that I went to high school with, she said that I was the most cultured football player she'd ever met, which is kind of a cool quote, right?
Compliment, yes. I hope that's on the back of the book.
Yeah, no. I should have put that. I should have talked to you before we released it.
The next one. Do you think there's going to be a next one?
Yes. I'm already 85 chapters into the next one. My wife calls me the weekend writer because I write on Saturdays and Sundays because I work full time.
Yeah. I love that. Good. I hope you come back.
Yeah. I can tell you a little bit. I can share a little bit about it if you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So the sequel is going to be called Dissension, the Co-op. That's the working title right now. And there's a lot more twists and turns, and some of the characters that were sub characters in the first book come more to light in the second book. And then I'm also tentatively working on a third book, which is going to be called Dissension, the Beginning, which takes you to what was happening with the cartels while my main character, Kylie, in Dissension was a teenager and what was going on around her.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's going to kind of create that circle.
Do we have any hopeful release dates for either of those?
Well, I'm actually a little bit behind the release date of what I initially thought for the sequel, which was going to be in May. So probably, hopefully sometime in the fall.
Okay, good.
And then the other one would be the following year.
Okay, good.
So I'm just in the infancy of working on that one. But as I'm working on the sequel, as ideas pop into my head and even dialogues and stuff, I'm putting them into a third document, for that third book.
Yeah. Well, I hope you come back when those come out. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, I would love to. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. This is really cool.
Awesome. Are you ready for round 3?
I'm ready. How many points I need? 2 more.
You need 2 more. And this is the final round. So you've got 4 chances.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I could do this.
All right. I think you can. Name 3 places to eavesdrop on a good disagreement.
A hallway, a bathroom, and a closet.
Yes. That is perfect.
Nice.
One more point.
Okay.
Let me look at the questions and see if there's a harder one here. Well, not really. But here we go. Name 3 snacks an author eats while writing on the weekend.
Peanuts, cookies, M&Ms.
There you go. That's 9 points, sir. That's 9 points.
Nice.
Everyone in the studio audience, the non-existent studio audience, gets a copy of the book. And I think he's going to autograph all of them, too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I would autograph the ones for the real people as well, too.
Love that. Well, thank you very much for playing.
Oh, well, thank you for inviting me. This is pretty cool.
I do have a couple more questions for you before I let you go, though.
Sure, absolutely.
You were released this not that long ago, very far after you started the book. What did that yes feel like compared to all the other milestones you've hit?
It is unbelievable, actually. And my wife always teases me because she said I'm like a little kid every time I go onto Amazon or Barnes and Noble and I see my book on there, because I still can't believe that a book that I started at 19 is now, on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and all the other places as well. It's like a little surreal, But one thing I get to tell my kids and other kids that I coach is you never give up on your dreams, right? I started writing this book at 19, I'm 56, and I didn't quit, I guess you'd say. And, thanks to my wife, driving her nuts on the weekends is what actually got me back into the book.
Were you ever, I mean, have you moved? Like, was there ever a moment where you're like,
Yeah, so we moved to 3 houses and took it all with us. Yeah, and when I say, so I worked in a furniture store, as a teenager, and there was a lot of boredom because I was loading furniture as people would come to pick up. And in high school, I liked to play sports, football and basketball and baseball, and but I also like to write, so I had this idea in my head. So it was boredom that actually sparked it. I started taking notes on the back of these overstock cards that we used to put for people that had layaway back then. They would lay away furniture.
I literally was just talking about that yesterday.
Yeah.
The layaway at Kmart. I was just having that conversation yesterday.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? They don't really do that now, but back then. So I started the notes on the back of those cards, and then that graduated to me bringing in, some notepads that my dad had laying around. And then I got a 5-subject notebook, and I kept all those. Like, we had a stack of them, and to 3 different houses.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it was just waiting. Like, that's so interesting.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And the fact that I was able to infuse my life, back into the characters and the storyline, and because, I explore a lot of themes, like you had brought up, disloyalty, loyalty, disagreements, conflict, a little bit deeper in the book than what I would have done at 19, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah. You needed that time to actually finish the book.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah. Love that. For the empty nesters watching who think their best years are behind them, what's your dissension tip for them to start something new?
I would say, if something is important to you, make it a priority. One of the things that worked for me with this is, in my normal job, I go from appointments to appointments, and I'm always setting up appointments, so I basically call it making an appointment with my book. So on Saturdays and Sundays, if my wife and I don't have anything, scheduled, I'll typically grab a coffee. I've got an appointment with my book, and whether that's writing new stuff or, editing or changing or adding to existing, stuff or chapters that I already have, I'm working on my book, and I know that's my dedicated appointment. So I would say probably that's my best advice is, if it's important to you, then make it a priority, right? I mean, we all could sit there and talk about something and want to do something, but until you make it a priority, you're just going to continue talking about it.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah. Our show is called Make Your Day Richer. After 37 years of waiting, what is the wealthiest feeling about finally being a published author?
I would say the wealthiest feeling is excitement and, accomplishing a goal, right? So at 19, I had these, grandiose dreams that I wanted to write and wanted to have this book and had all these ideas. So the backbone of the story is actually it was kept, and a lot of the characters are the same, but I would say excitement, because much like, the Seahawks beating the Patriots, which, was tremendous. You have that excitement,
Yeah. So. Yeah. Love that. Well, thank you so much for being here, for playing, for winning.
And, thank you. You threw me some softball questions.
Yeah, well, I try to make it easy. It has to be fun. Otherwise,
that one was a little difficult. I couldn't even think of what you were asking me before I had to spit out an answer.
That's funny. Well, thank you very much. Tell everybody one more time where they can reach you out there in the world.
Yeah, so you can reach me on my website, rodneyphillipsauthor.com, or via email. I would love, to hear from some of your listeners and anybody that wants to bounce ideas or anything off me. It's rphillips66@yahoo.com. And you can find the book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Google Play, Apple Books, all kinds. Thrift books as well, too. Just picked it up as well, so.
Good. Congratulations.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll see you back here in the fall.
Yeah, that sounds tremendous. I would love to come back on the show. This is really cool.
Awesome. Thanks for watching, everyone. Go get the book Dissension and come back next time, would you? Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.